Welcome to Chair, place where we discuss innovations. So, innovation needs atmosphere in which to develop. It's definitely a cultural characteristic and must be encouraged and nurtured inside of company. But what to do when you have all the stuff, all the right ingredients in your company to innovate, but the market and ecosystem that you should work in and should support you, it's not ready for innovation and disruption. On this and other questions, I have a pleasure to talk to David Vuk Guberenic. Vuk is a very well-educated and experienced executive. He has been working in companies such as Orion Telecom, PSC Mobile, Suricati, South Balkan Fund, and he led Serbian Private Equity Association. But more importantly, he is well known locally and started to be globally as a founder and CEO of Cargo. So Vuk, welcome to Chair. It's a pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the invitation. I'm glad to be here.
Before we go to our main question of today, I want to ask you something about the decision-making process, or to be more precise, I think this is a question regarding the entrepreneurship, right? How you decide to become local competition to global leaders such as Uber?
Yeah, good question. So it's not a decision that you get all of a sudden. It was, I would say, a chain of events that happened. So first I tried to use the service in the US. So I was really impressed with whatever Uber accomplished and how the whole process worked and the whole flow. And I reached out to them and wanted to be a representative, basically. That was about 5 years ago. And then they never replied. So then you start thinking about what would be the next step. You know, you've seen the future and you want to be a part of it. But since there was no door to open, we decided to make one. So I talked to a few friends and decided to take steps towards achieving that goal, to change the status quo. And we just basically put some money together and the team and started building the software.
So our subject today is, as I said earlier, going against all the pressures and challenges that arise when company like Cargo try to innovate on the market. And especially because this market is influenced by entrenched cartels, you have inhospitable regulations. What were your biggest challenges?
Plenty of challenges. So I'll take you back to 2015. We decided not to bother with cash payments. So that was the first and foremost. We were in a situation where you didn't have an option to pay for something online in Serbia and get the receipt right away. So you basically you had the initial phases of e-commerce, but you had to register your card every time you wanted to pay for something. And the process for that was very tedious. So right there from the start, we decided to take a different approach and basically offer a solution for online payment using PayPal, because that was the most advanced type of payment back then available here in Serbia. And then we got in trouble with the National Bank of Serbia, who said that we were against the law when it comes to using PayPal within the country and among citizens. So that was the first challenge before the taxi challenge came and the taxi driver strike. We were looking for a more innovative way for you to click and pay for something and get the receipt so you can use the service right away. And being that the nature of our service is on a real-time mobility, we decided to go with that option. And then really soon followed another type of payment through the telco operations. So with MTS, we signed a contract so you could pay through your phone bill. Basically buy cargo credit and then use it later on to get a ride. But that was the first challenge, because you can't really scale using just those types of payments, because people don't want to bother. So we knew that it wasn't a mass approach. But then really soon, so maybe a year after that, we were the first company that introduced card on file payments, which was something that was available maybe 5 years before that period in the West. And that's basically, a system that lets you register the credit card or regular debit card just one time, and then for all your future transactions. So we solved that problem. We didn't have in mind that we would be building this part of the e-commerce and doing the education of the users, because I think we can agree that people are not that eager to leave a credit card to a company or a startup here in Serbia.
Especially in Serbia.
Yeah, but we believed that we have a good enough base of early adopters, and I'm grateful and thankful to them because they really encouraged us to keep going and keep moving and keep changing the status quo, which was something that some people liked to protect, and we're basically for the open market and real competition. And this is something that we always kept in mind, that we are an alternative. We're still not the mainstream, and I like that position because we are many times considered an underdog, and it's a good situation to be in when you're fighting a bigger opponent. So we like the challenger position. We worked very hard to build up the company, the brand, and I can tell you now that looking from this distance, in the past 5 years, we created a little monster. But this is only the beginning. We have much bigger plans, and I think we have a bright future ahead of us. To go back to your question regarding the challenges and the taxis and all the people that were used to having something that they can control when it comes to the law and people talking about us that we are not abiding the law. I beg to differ. I think that whatever we are bringing has already been seen both in the West and the East, and yes, we do consider ourselves as innovators, but I think better than anyone else, we're better at the level of adjusting to the local market, a global trend to the local market, because let's face it, this app that we created and the service has been working for quite some time in the world, and we have seen some competition from those companies even here in Belgrade with little or no success. We managed to keep up. One, because we're really stubborn, and two, because we're hardworking, and we don't want to back down because we are fighting for the right cause, and we're bringing value to our customers every day, and they can appreciate that, and that's why they come back, because we're not selling a refrigerator once in every 5 years, and we're not dealing with bad merchandise. We are here every day. We want to serve our users every day, twice a day. So the idea is to get the most out of it, out of the fight. Keep the customers happy, and keep going. Yes, you will always have a challenge, whatever you do. You know, uh, it was our choice to fight in this market, to fight for what's right. You know, to bring a change, to offer something better, an alternative that once people try it, they will understand it. You know, it's not enough to just talk about it. And same thing for me. When I first tried this type of service, I was blown away. Then I realized that this is going to be a big wave of transformation in transportation. And I decided to pursue that way. And then along the way, you find some help. You know, I can say that I have a good team that I work with, a good partner, and we put in a lot of effort, a lot of resources. We invested into this thing, and we see it grow every day. So we're happy right now where we are.
I see that you're still today in a battle, or let's call it war, of this. And but from my perspective, since I know your story for quite some time now, here in region from Serbia and then later on the region, it seemed like you're winning. You started winning. Do you have a end game from your current perspective?
Well, no, not yet. We are winning. Let's say, I would put it this way. We won some battles, but we didn't win the war. Not yet. I think over time, people will realize how important this fight is for the whole market. And it's not just about cargo. You know, cargo is becoming a fintech platform, probably the first one in the region. That will attract not only a lot of people, a lot of users, but also a lot of merchandisers. So a lot of people that are selling something, they will be our partners. So we recently started Cargo Butler, a delivery service that will probably grow very fast and grow into the last mile delivery that's preferred. And solve a problem for a lot of people who have issues with fast delivery service or same-day delivery, which is basically non-existing in Belgrade and in a market that's pretty big now and growing in e-commerce. So we want to be a great support for everyone who sells something online. And we can, in Belgrade, we can guarantee a 1 to 2 hour delivery service for anything that you sell, basically here in Belgrade.
Something that you couldn't imagine a couple
Yes,
of years ago.
yes. Well, of course. I mean, you start with one thing, you focus and you build on. We couldn't imagine that we would buy 300 cars, and we did, you know, through various leasing and financing options. But we did that in order to grow to the next level, to offer new cars for the first time in Belgrade, you know, in 20 years.
Decades, right?
Yeah, so it wasn't our intention to build up a fleet company, but in the end, we saw, you know, the plus and minus, and we wanted to be different from everyone else. And we've shown this in an example that it can be done. So other people can do it as well. It's not just about the software. Software itself has has value, but it's how you present the software, and it's also about the relationship that you have with your driver, or the whole service that you get, the experience that you get, that you're looking forward to the next time. So for us, you know, now it's delivery. You know, we partnered with 250 restaurants already. We've grown very fast in that field as well, where there is more competition, yes, but this whole pandemic and the situation has got people to order in more. You know, even people who never thought about it, like some of our parents and grandparents,
Yeah.
because the system is made easy, and people enjoy, having at least part of the experience that they used to have in a restaurant when the food is delivered. So yeah, fintech, Cargo is going to be, I think, a great company, and a lot of people have underestimated what we can do, and very soon they're going to feel sorry.
I will come later. I want to talk about what's the next thing that you're going to give us from Cargo. Before that, I just want to you share with me a glimpse of your innovation process, because I want to know how you decide where to go next and what to do next.
I do a lot of research. I follow a lot of trends, what's going on in the US and what's going on in China, Malaysia, Indonesia. Basically, those are the markets I'm interested in. Of course, I follow what's going on in Africa as well when it comes to technology and when it comes to specifically our industry. So mobility slash food delivery, last mile. And I've seen what people are doing. I've seen the trend that's coming from the East of how Uber, we talked about them, can be beaten in some markets. And I want to take that recipe. So it's not basically an invention or creation. It's more of adapting a business model to whatever people have done already in other areas. I have traveled to China about a year ago, and I've seen the future. Basically, that those guys are crazy. I mean,
incredible what they're doing.
Nobody can catch up. When it comes to technology development and technology adoption, I think the Chinese are number one, and they're embracing it. I think technology helps in many ways, and through one app you can basically do everything in China. People don't carry cash. That was really amazing. An experience that I'll never forget. We were tourists and we were the only ones using cash. All of Chinese people, they use the phone to pay for everything, to send money, to book a meeting, to book a restaurant, to pay for the restaurant. So we're going that direction. We will integrate a few more services into the Cargo app, basically becoming the first super app of the Balkans. The idea is to have at least 6 or 7 services and be operational throughout the country and throughout the region. So that's the future for us. I have seen that this has been done in China and Indonesia and Malaysia, and all of those companies, let's say, very similar to our company, have become huge. That they started with mobility service, and they're now selling insurance, and you can buy a home if you want through the app. Basically, they gathered a lot of people to use the app every day for one service, and then they expanded a range of services that are offered to the same group of people. And once you have this big group of people using the app, of course you can get a better deal on basically anything. So this is our plan. It's not some secret. We're just moving faster than everyone else. And I have to say, so far we didn't have any help outside. On the contrary, we had some hurdles to jump over, and some pushbacks and all kinds of crazy stuff that you can't imagine. Some illegal stuff too. But we hired a big team of lawyers, and we're fighting our way through the administration. Unfortunately, we don't have any wind in our wings that would make this expansion even faster. But that may change. Maybe next year people realize, or next month people realize the vision that we bring and the direction where we're headed. So maybe they tag along and work with us instead of against us.
So you told me how you innovate. Share with me one secret. What's next new innovation from Cargo?
Yeah, well, from plenty of ideas that we circle around in the office, we try to pick the best next solution for our users. So on one hand, whatever is going on the street, we're looking more towards the green energy and electrification of our fleet. So this is one of the homeworks for us for 2021. When it comes to the app, we're basically rebranding the whole thing, meaning that we'll have a completely different approach for our users and using the multi-service and multi-channel app. Since we will have more than 3 services, we will very soon introduce a new outlook and a beautiful new design of the Cargo app. As far as for the service, Cargo is becoming a nationwide service with our new option within the app, which is called Cargo Medical. So for the first time, we are going into the medical field, meaning that we will outreach to people who provide the service, whether they're doctors or pharmacies, yeah, and or pet shops and so on. So basically, Cargo Medical is a card, a loyalty card that you can buy within the app or on the website for 20 euros per year, and it's valid for you and your family. And you get a discount in one of the 1,500 services and locations where we already signed the contract throughout Serbia. So what this would look like, you click and you buy the card, and you can use the card by showing it at one of the locations where you are buying the service. So whether it's a dentist appointment or some pet food or a surgery for yourself or the pet, you can see which organizations have partnered with us within the app and on the website, and you can see what type of discount you can expect. So basically on the first visit that or service that you receive, you can save up whatever you invested. So very excited for this because it's a different approach towards our customers. So some more value add. Obviously, you'll have more benefits within the app and across our services. We are introducing some points as well. So the more you use our app and our services, the more you will earn, and basically the whole system will help users get more value every time.
You mentioned users, and of course you have so many of them. What is the number of?
Well, over 1 million people have registered,
yes.
And we're very proud of that. We're really working hard to make their life easier.
I'm sure that their data is very valuable asset for Cargo. And what are you doing right now or planning to do in sense of big data analytics with all the data that you have at this point?
This is another plan that we have. Obviously, that's the new gold. Data is the new gold. We want to analyze it first. We have gathered a lot of data so far. And of course, along with the regulations, we'll try to use that data to maximize the potential of the platform and potential for the usage for our users. Basically, the idea is to predict some habits and to help users get the most value out of whatever we offer. So if it's a Friday night and you live in a certain part of town, either you're going to need a ride to go downtown to party, or on your way back, you may want to pick up a cake. So
Yeah.
we'll maybe show you some signals how you can do that and get the best value for yourself. There are also a lot of new stuff, a lot of inventions that we have when it comes to the map service, and hopefully that will be a part of something new, a part of the new app that we will introduce that no one else has. So that will be not only a disruption, which is what we've done so far, but also an invention and innovation when it comes to getting a better experience for the end user. And I'll give you a hint. We're all used to looking at the map, and that's a 2D environment. It's very hard for an average user to get themselves organized and find themselves and so on. So we'll make that a 3D experience, and I'm looking forward to that.
Since I'm a user of your app, I'm pretty excited to see that. So
yeah.
I think I'm going to enjoy
just
it.
Say, you will not only be looking at our app, you will be looking through the app.
Excellent. I always like to finish the chair talk with the future, with the vision. And since you are on the front line of the mobility, I want to ask you your opinion, your vision. What is the future of mobility itself?
Yeah. Good question. I spend my Friday evenings thinking about this and predicting where this is going. So if we are looking at the world, you probably know that the biggest technology project right now in the world is the self-driving car. And there are at least 10 companies that are worth over $1 billion that are working towards that goal. We are not one of them, and we probably won't be, because we want to focus on helping those companies and those industries get there faster. So we can do that by gathering data and providing a better quality data in real time. And we have a side project that's doing that, so as a pilot project. I think that in the West, especially in the US, self-driving car feature will become standard within a few years, thanks to big companies like Tesla and Amazon and maybe Apple, because they are most advanced, Google as well. But when it comes to the personal mobility of people in urban areas, for sure, I believe that the future is not a Tesla sedan. I think that for mass mobility, the future is a small electric car. And this is a passion of mine that I'm going to be working on in the near future. But a small electric car that's going to be available to you, whether you want to drive or you want to ride in it with a driver, or a self-driving car feature. Yeah, but something that's available in abundance. So imagine, let's say 2,000 or 3,000 small electric cars in Belgrade that you can open with your phone, and you can start it, and you can pay, you can rent it for a few days, or you want to deliver food. I think that's the future. And that car just needs to go at least 200 kilometers with one charge.
So I think future is very exciting.
It is. Imagine small electric cars, beautiful colors. It's all coming. I think it's all coming.
Vuk, thank you very much for this conversation today. I enjoyed it so much. And for you there who watched today's episode, if you liked it, please subscribe and see you next Thursday when we talk about some other new innovations.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.